find, and they start with this, the coordinates of the center of a square. So pause. You can picture what a square looks like, right? Square looks like that, right? And we want to find where the middle is. Like that. Okay? Keep reading. Of a square with, and then they have this fancy word, vertices. Vertices. Which is just kind of a technical term for corners. Right? So it's the points that define the shape. Okay? With vertices, and then they list out these coordinates. This is what we've got. Have I written it down right? Is that right? Everything check out? Okay, so that's all the information we've got. There's a square, we want to find the center, and then these are where all the corners are. Okay, so here's my approach. It doesn't say draw a diagram. However, a diagram is so useful. It's so beneficial. It helps you literally get the picture, and also actually will help you work out, well, what's the fastest way to do this? So I'm going to draw a set of axes, and I'm going to plot these on. I'm not going to do it beautifully, just enough so I can get the idea. Okay, so let's have a go at this, and you should follow along with me. Draw up a set of axes for yourself. Let me look. Okay, and I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to plot these points. Okay, so I've got A, which is at the origin, like so. Okay, so I should have put on Y and X. Okay, where's B? Where's B? 2, 4. That means I go to the right 2 units. So I go 1, 2, and then I'll go up 4 units, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm here. Now, I'm just going to pause for a second because this is interesting. I've only drawn these 2 points, but this certainly doesn't look like the square that I drew at the beginning, right? Like, look, it's off at an angle. Like, if I join these up, it's not going to be nice and flush like this, okay? So let's keep on drawing and see what happens. C, that's 6, 2, okay? So 6, 2 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just made it. And then up 2, so here it is. Yeah, that's right. There's C, okay? And my last one is D, so that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And -2 means down, right? -2, right? So it looks like it's around here. So you're like, oh, right. Now I can see the square, but it's like tilted. Let's join it up so that you can see, right?
Mine looks like a rhombus.
Yeah, probably if, like me, my scale's not perfect either. So a rhombus is not an unlikely kind of figure to get, actually. So I think that looks like what I'm getting. It's square-ish anyway. You guys have got a grid book, so you can actually do it properly. Okay? Yep. This is 3. 3?
3.
This is 3.
3, man.
Okay, so now I've got my square, right? Now, can you see how useful it is to know where all the coordinates are, right? Because if I want to know where the center is, where is the center? Like, I guess I'm expecting it somewhere, like in here or something, right? That's like the center that I drew before. Yeah. Okay, then. Now, how do I find this? How do I find the coordinates of the center of this square? Okay. Okay, now, we'll get to the answer in a second. I'm interested in how we get there, because that's really important. Now, can you see?
Can you find the
Can you see?
midpoint?
It's alright, I'll get there. Okay. I'm going to find a midpoint, but the question is, midpoint of what?
B and T.
I don't have a P on here.
Oh, I
Right,
don't
so
know what that
that's a D.
is. Oh, that's just-
Alright, now you can see, for example, if I drew the midpoint between A and B, I'll be here. That is not the center of the square. I could do the midpoint of B and C, and I would be here. And that is not the center, and on and on and on, right? Where should I go? Yep.
And C.
Okay, good. So I've got 2 options here. I can go AC, and I might just, and you might like to do this as well. I'm going to join that up. There you go. Okay. So that's one of the diagonals, right? Because it's a square, or even if it was a rectangle, actually, if I take the other diagonal as well, it should also line up right there at the center of the square. That guy. So you have 2 options, and both will be fine. You can take the midpoint of A and C. That guy. Okay. Or alternatively, you could take the midpoint of B and D. This guy. And you should get the same answer. Okay? Question.
The
B and C, and then like put them together to make like a square or sort of.
And you've got to be careful. I see what you're getting at. You've got to be careful because it's because of sorry, let me come back over here. The reason why it sort of worked over here is because everything was nice and everything was, you know, directly vertical, directly horizontal. But here, you're off at an angle, right? Which makes it, you can't just say, oh, this x coordinate and this x coordinate will be the same. It's like, well, they're not, because, yeah, they're twisted. All right, so let's just very quickly rehearse this and see how we go. Because I've got my formula written down here, I'm not going to write it all over again. But let's do A and C. Here's A, and here's C. Okay? Now, I'll ask you in a second why I think that AC is actually a much better option than BD. I'll do both of them for you to prove it, but there's a clear reason why AC is better. See if you spot it as we go through. I'm going to do the X's and the Y's, right? So I've got 6 plus 0 on 2. That's x1 plus x2. Now I'll do y1 plus y2. That's 2 plus 0 on 2. You see that? And this brings us back to what Tom said, which is 3, 1.
So I know why it's harder if you do
Yeah,
BD,
tell me why.
because there's a negative number.
Okay, so the first reason is, gross. I like to avoid negatives wherever I can. Okay, and if you have a choice, you should too, because it just makes you, it's an extra place for errors to creep in. Is the first thing. But there's a second, even more interesting reason. Look at A. A is not just any point. It's a special point. What is it?
0, 0.
It's the origin, right? It's 0, 0, which means that when you do maths with it, like when you put 0 into things, it's super easy. Everyone can do 6 plus 0. It's 6, right? And so it's almost like the mental work is far reduced. If you can ever get zeros, if you can ever get zeros without getting dust in your hair, then you should use them, okay? And just really quickly, just to satisfy you that it does work, we'll do BD anyway, okay? BD are these two coordinates. So I'm going to get 2 plus 4 and 2 plus negative 2. That's still 6 over 2, which is still 3. And that's still 0. Wait, what? Sorry?
Yeah.
No, wait, what have I done?
Minus 2.
Oh, this is 4. It's 4, sorry. That should be a 4.
4. Oh, jeez.
So that's still 2 over 2.
Still get
Which
the
is
same
1.
answer.
Yeah, because like we said, they both intersect at the center. Okay? But AC is a better choice because it's got zeros in it. Okay? So diagram, super helpful, not necessary, but you can do it.